policy credit from the World Bank. So how can you blast the World Bank, blast the IMF, and then take the money and call it something cute like development policy credit?
We don't want to blast any international institutions. We want that we should be free and sovereign nation. And to be free and sovereign nation, we should be self-sufficient. We should stand on our own feet.
But Mr. Ahmed, you are against, you have gone on the record against the World Bank and the IMF, and then you have taken their money. Where is the consistency, sir?
Because the provincial government is not the policy making body, and the policies, the economic policies are controlled by the central government, by the Ministry of Finance.
No, this loan was negotiated by the NWFP with the World Bank.
The NWFP
this was a provincially negotiated loan.
Government cannot negotiate anything without the consent and without the promotion of the central government. And
I'm assuming it cannot do any of those things without the consent of the MMA, which is the ruling body, correct? You are the president of the MMA, correct? Then why, the question is if the president of the MMA is against foreign aid with conditions, if the president of the MMA is against the World Bank and the IMF and their policies, if the president of the MMA has called those neoliberal policies against Pakistan's benefit, then why is the president of the MMA silent when his own government ends up taking more than $200 million?
Actually, we want that Pakistani nation should be sovereign and they should be self-sufficient and it should be independent nation. That cannot be done without economic independence. This economic independence is possible only when our national policies are there is changed, and in our national economic policies there is a planning for self-sufficiency.
But do you admit it or not that it sounds a little inconsistent, contradictory, hypocritical even, when you have been against the World Bank and now you're taking the money?
No, this can be done by framing policies under the national policies, not in the provincial government. Provinces are subservient to the national policies.
Okay. Are you for co-education?
No.
Then, Mr. Ahmed, the question is that why did you send your son to a prestigious American university which is co-educational?
Yes, he had studied in the Islamic University in Islamabad.
I'm not talking about Islamabad. I'm talking about Boston University.
In Islamabad, he studied it and he wanted on the postgraduate level, after doing his MA here, to acquire about knowledge about the economic policies of different nations and about Islamization of economy, and it was therefore that he studied in Boston University.
But it's not co-educational. It is co-educational,
no,
isn't it?
I will not send my daughter to any such.
Don't you think that's gender bias? Don't you think that's gender apartheid?
Yes, gender biased. We are gender biased. We want the male and female have got different spheres.
So you think you
please
can send a boy,
please give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Male and female, they have got equal rights, but they have got different responsibilities. And for different responsibilities, they must be prepared in different ways and in different educations.
So you're saying you can send your son to a co-educational institute, but you will not say your daughter.
Yes.
You will say they're different but equal.
For different.
Are they equal?
Actually,
are men and women equal?
They are equal in rights. They are different in responsibilities.
Well, why don't you send your daughter to Boston University, sir?
She has got a different responsibility from my son.
Okay, and forget your children. Why are you then creating an apartheid in Pakistan for co-educational institutes?
There is no apartheid.
You are saying there has to be a difference. You just spent a few minutes talking about the national interest and the national goal of the Pakistani people, that most people do not want to send their daughters to a co-educational institute.
Yes.
Then how? Simple question. Why did you do it for your own kids?
No, I did not send any of my children to any co-education institutions on my own will. But there was no separate education in the United States where there higher education was possible for my son.
Don't you think it's contradictory, Mr. Ahmed?
Actually, there was no such atmosphere and there was no such facilities available. If there were some other facilities available to get higher education and to get their, the right thing and the right training, and there was an Islamic atmosphere, I would not have sent him to United States.
Well, it's good to discuss moral principles with you. Qazi Hussain Ahmed, a pleasure. Thank you for coming to TalkBack. That was Qazi Hussain Ahmed, the Ameer of the Jamaat-e-Islami on this episode of TalkBack. We hope you enjoyed it. Email us at talkback@dawnnews.tv. Your views are important to us. That's it from me, Wajahat, Saeed Khan, and the rest of the TalkBack team. Good night.
TalkBack was sponsored by Soya Supreme.
जो सेहत का रंग बस वही सोया सुप्रीम का रंग।